Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. This bulletin is coming to you live from our studios here at Kokomlemle in Accra on digital address GA0993341. It's broadcasting live on Joy 99.7 FM, also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, affiliates across the country on ABN Radio in London and around the world at myjoyonline.com. The news is brought to you by Telesol 4G, proudly Ghanaian, Telesol, just a touch, and UMB Bank, UMB Speed Up, Digibank, let's go. Also brought to you by Mac Auto Parts Ghana, distributors of Isuzu pickups and Chevy cars. Mac Ghana, with you for the long run. Coming up in this edition, minority in parliament asks Ghanaians to hold President Akufo-Addo responsible for what they say is a scandalous and corrupt reviewed Ameri-Power deal.
The president cannot extricate himself from this stinking, scandalous, disastrous deal that's about to wreck the whole nation.
President Akufo-Addo describes himself and his family as not corrupt, as he points to a conspiracy by his political opponents to tag some members of his family as corrupt.
I did not come into public life to make money out of public service. Members of my family know fully well they have to behave and are not involved in anything untoward.
Lands and Natural Resources Minister says government will immediately take tough decisions against the Ghana Bauxite Company following Joy News revelations of the company's failure to pay penalties.
2012 you made laws, 2013 you make laws, 2014 you make laws, 2015 there was some declaration of profit. But the point I want to raise is that you don't own this company 100%.
And in sports,
a top football official insists the FIFA CAF liaison team are crossing their boundaries by asking clubs to submit proposals on how to restore normalcy in Ghana football.
And officials of National Service Secretariat and police collaborate to arrest 5 middlemen caught helping prospective National Service personnel for changing the original postings as given them by the Secretariat.
Nobody should be paying any money for postings. We've written to the National Security and currently investigation is ongoing. We have so far arrested 5 persons who have been collecting money allegedly.
We have details and more here on the Midday News with me, Emmefa Apau. And the minority in parliament are asking Ghanaians to hold President Akufo-Addo personally responsible for what they say is a scandalous and corrupt reviewed Ameri-Power deal. They say the president's decision to give executive approval shows he's in support of the deal the minority says could wreck the nation. You may be aware that parliament suspended its consideration of the reviewed Ameri deal at the last sitting as it awaits the provision of some critical documents on the agreement. At a media briefing in parliament today, former Deputy Power Minister John Jinapor called for a complete withdrawal of the deal, insisting the president is involved in it.
Without approval from the president. And the president couldn't have given approval if he did not look into this. It therefore sums up that the president is very comfortable with this deal. The president is certainly neck deep and arms deep into this whole deal. And you cannot hold the president responsible. And we want to put it on record that the president cannot extricate himself from this stinking, scandalous, disastrous deal that's about to wreck the whole nation. We would assume that a seasoned lawyer of a standing, without critical evidence of a legal opinion from the Attorney General and from the Ministry of Finance, to enter into international debts, and also without approval from PURC, and also without approval from the Public Procurement Agency for a sole source deal of this nature, why would the president hastily rush to approve this dubious and scandalous deal? It comes as little wonder that Ghanaians are fast losing confidence in the Akufo-Addo government in light of the numerous corruption-related exposés involving government officials. The loss of confidence is reflected in ever-worsening perception of corruption in government, as highlighted by the 2017 Corruption Perception Index by Transparency International and a recent survey conducted by Penn's Plosbit, a respected local civil society organization. We note that we have not been alone in this crusade to reverse this terrible deal. We salute patriotic Ghanaians, civil society organizations, and the VRA staff in particular, who have mastered courage in the face of intimidation and vilification by this government to condemn this nation-wrecking deal. Posterity will surely judge these patriotic Ghanaians who have stood up to speak against.
Now, let's get on the line now and speak to Joseph Opoku-Gakpo, who was at that briefing. So, Joseph, beyond just accusing the president of being involved in the deal that they describe as stinking, scandalous, etc., did they actually provide any proof or details to support same? It looks like we don't have Joseph Opoku-Gakpo there on the phone. We'll try and re-establish contact with him. He attended that briefing addressed by the minority on the Ameri Power deal. They've been accusing the president of his involvement in that. We'll get Joseph Opoku-Gakpo back on the line and raise some of these issues. But the minority also have been talking about the car power energy deal. They insist that for a new one, that is, they think that this new energy deal is worse than the car power one. What more? We can listen to them.
Even as we discuss this Ameri agreement, we wish to also bring to your attention yet another scandalous and corruption-ridden agreement being renegotiated by this same energy ministry under the 450 car powership agreement. This renegotiated agreement is even worse than the Ameri Innovation Agreement presented to Parliament by Mr. Boachi Ajako. Indeed, the renegotiated car power agreement stinks to the heavens, with big fishes in government superintending the looting of the state under this new deal. I am not surprised that the ECG board has declined to approve this deal. But what they have done is to double the tenor. Anytime you double the tenor of a PPA, the rule of thumb is that the capacity charge drops to between 30 and 40%. What this government has done is to renegotiate the deal, double the tenor, and giving us a minimal reduction of about 8%. So who is seeking to cream up the 32%? Who is sharing this 32% that has been sidelined somewhere? Yes, you heard me right. And I mean you heard me right. The renegotiated car power deal was poorly negotiated and fraught with inflated and padded figures. The minority will soon engage the total Ghanaian public on this thinking deal, and we shall make the details available to you.
Quite some allegations there by the minority. John Jinapo, former Deputy Power Minister. Let's try again and speak to Joseph Opoku-Gakpo, who was at that briefing. So, Joseph, I was asking earlier that we've heard the minority accuse the president, especially, of being involved in the deal. They've been describing it as stinking, scandalous, amongst others. But did they provide any proof or details to support same?
The reference that they make to has to do with the document that was brought to Parliament itself, and they raised questions about how come there wasn't an opinion of the Attorney General on this, how come there wasn't an approval from the Finance Minister as far as this particular deal is concerned, that's required by law. And then they went on to question how come government hasn't released the full details of the Philip Addison Committee's report when they investigated this particular issue. Those are the main ones that they are pointing to as the evidence, and they make the point that the current deal is criminal and a major blow to the nation. They say that this Ameri transaction shows that the NDC did nothing wrong, and that it's rather the NPP that has questions to answer over this. The minority say they find it scandalous, the attempt by the president to bring in the new company, Miscellaneous, to run this particular deal. And then they conclude by making the point that the Miscellaneous International Company, the deal that's coming up with them, is fully padded. They say it's inflated. They say it's contrived. Then they go on to say that figures relating to Miscellaneous, as far as this is concerned, shows that there is a grand attempt by government to create, loot, and share the spoils of these new agreements. But they don't specifically provide any evidence beyond those details they point to.
But did they outline any specific actions they would take beyond the revelations?
So they make the point that when it's getting to the 10th of September, when Parliament is expected to right here in Parliament, they are expecting that it's likely that's the duration during which government will want to push through this deal again. They say they are going to continue resisting it with all the energy that they can, and the power agreement as well.
Joseph Opoku-Gakpo there, but government has continued to defend the deal. Deputy Information Minister Kojo Oponkroma says government is committed to ensuring Ghana benefits hugely from the reviewed Ameri Power deal currently before Parliament.
On Ameri, I think it's a very simple position. Government is going through a process of reviewing a proposal that has been received. The proposal essentially is to novate and amend what you would call the old Ameri structure. It's been tabled before one of the arms of government, Parliament, currently. And as you are aware, Parliament is going through the process of validating the numbers that have been put before us. What I can tell you is that in the end, whatever will be done should and would be in the best interest of our country. I heard somebody make a comment on all of our media platforms that if indeed the administration was minded to railroad this through with the numbers that we have in Parliament, by the time it arrived here, you would have seen it literally passed without much issue. But even in spite of the numbers, we are committed to ensuring that the process of government works smoothly. We're examining the data. Government acting through Parliament has not finished with the work, and in the end, when we are done, we'll update the nation on what is in the best interest. But I think we can relax and keep the views being expressed. I do know that people have seen the document and are expressing their views and are doing their own analysis. That's the essence of the democracy that we have. That's what the president talks about when he says that we should be citizens and not spectators. And in the end, government would arrive at a final posture which will be communicated to all of us.
Deputy Information Minister Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah. Well, speaking of corruption, President Akufo-Addo has declared himself and his family as not corrupt, as he points to a conspiracy by his political opponents to tag some members of his family as corrupt. According to him, members of his family are aware of their roles and are behaving accordingly. He's been speaking at the ongoing annual internal audit conference.
I came to reiterate that I need your help in the fight against corruption. I came to renew publicly the sacred vow that I took to protect the public purse. I came also to acknowledge that this is not a battle I can wage or win alone. There are many layers to the protection of the public purse, and internal auditors are its primary defenders. I want to say that the stringent and desperate efforts being made by my political opponents to not tarnish me and members of my family with corruption will simply not wash. I did not come into public life to make money out of public service. And members of my family know fully well they have to behave and are not involved in anything untoward. I am aware that you give a dog a bad name in order to hang it, but this dog will not be hanged.
President Akufo-Addo, Joy News editor Evans Mensah joins me live from the conference. So, Evans, did the president provide any specifics about the smear campaign he claims his opponents are orchestrating against himself and his family?
No, the president did not give any particulars about this conspiracy to smear him and to hang him. In essence, to tag him and his family as corrupt, except that you can place it within the context of all that is happening, particularly within the context of the Ameri discussions and the controversies, as we just heard, elucidated and articulated by the minority in Parliament today, with suggestions that the deal itself is corrupt. There has been talk in some quarters that some powerful figures within government are behind the drafting of this particular agreement, in essence, to benefit a few individuals who will be, serving their own interests within the government, and possibly extension of some members of the president's own inner circle. I guess possibly that's what the president was referring to. Talking about the Ameri itself, it has come up at this particular audit conference. Stephen Adele, a straight shooter, had talked about how this current deal itself that has been reviewed by the current government is a bad one, and he has thought that the John Mahama administration had put forward a very terrible deal, which he believed was corrupt, and that for this current government to also put forward this deal, which already we know that even the ECG workers are also opposed to, he believes a second look needs to be taken at this particular current deal that the government is putting forward. It's possible that that's what the president might be referring to, but we certainly need to, interrogate that a bit more. I haven't seen any publication specifically mentioning him and his family, but you can put it within that context in the wake of what has happened in the last week.
I'm sure subsequently we'll get to delve deeper into that. But let's talk a bit more about the Conference of Auditors. Did he address concerns about alleged corruption by some of these internal auditors?
Yes, it did. He mentioned the Auditor General's report that comes out every year, and he wondered why the internal auditors who are at all the ministries, the departments and the agencies and the district assemblies wait until the Auditor General does his work before we discover these corrupt practices. When they are there, they could have done and identified and fixed the problem way before the Auditor General steps in. In fact, the word to use are either these internal auditors are complicit or incompetent, and he wants that fixed.
Joining is Editor Evans Mensah there. Now, Lands and Natural Resources Minister John Peter Amewu says government will immediately reconsider its shareholding agreement with the Chinese operators of the Ghana Bauxite Company. A Joy News investigation revealed the company has failed to pay penalty charges of up to $90 million. The company has also failed to pay taxes for most of the time it's been operating in the country. Today, Lands and Natural Resources Minister John Peter Amewu visited the site of the company and demanded better management.
2012, he made laws. 2013, he made laws. 2014, he made laws. 2015, there was some declaration of profit. 2016, we yet studying your books, but laws 2017, we haven't got your books yet. But the point I want to raise is that you don't own this company 100%. Are you aware? We equally have a participating interest. And for us, it's not our interest to marry a company that will be running losses. It's not in the interest of Ghanaian and also in the interest of the public for a company to be running losses. If you consistently have to continue making these losses, then of course government will soon advise itself as quickly as possible. The law, which is the lease agreement you have, states clearly that in case of transfer pricing or dealings with an affiliate relationship, there must be some clear form of understanding between your outfit and then the ministry regarding the person you sign your sales and purchase agreement to buy the bauxite. Now it is clear that this company belongs to you. It's your mother company or a sister company. And the prices at which you sold all this bauxite over the period were not the prevailing market price. The law even says that they must be fair and equitable. They will be shortchanged for this time. I'm not here to teach you what is right. But as a government and also as a minister with my team, we have not been very happy for your operations over this time. I'm waiting for your 2017 financial statement, and we're going to advise ourselves. There are clear mandates in terms of what to do, both the company and then also the government, in terms of termination clauses or cancellations of leases. They are clear. But your behavior, clearly, it's not in the interest of Ghanaian public.
Lands and Natural Resources Minister John Peter Amewu, my colleague Ohiming Teria, is traveling with him and joins us on the line. Ohiming, obviously livid Lands and Natural Resources Minister. What more has he been saying in that confrontation with management of Ghana Bauxite Company?
Yes, MFR, it appears the minister was armed with a lot of information on the operations of the Ghana Bauxite Company before he even visited the company today. For instance, he's not happy that the company has projected an increase in production, has even went ahead to apply for mining lease and permit at Subiriso, besides where it has been mining currently at Inchemso, and also wants to expand its operations to Fumba and then Okakri. And so the minister believes that if government, as a shareholder in this company, he should be aware of what is happening within the Ghana Bauxite Company. And so he requested that within the next few days, the management of the company should come over to the ministry to speak to him, and also as he goes through the contractual, the licensing and then agreement between the Ghana government and the Ghana Bauxite Mining. And he also indicated, for instance, that he is not happy that per the agreement between Ghana government and the company, they are supposed to pay Ghana government $40 per ore. But when the prices of the ore goes up, Ghana's government interest still remains the same. But when it goes down, the company brings down what Ghana government should have gained from the agreement. So these are some of the things that the minister touched on.
My colleague Ohimin Teria there traveling with the Lands and Natural Resources Minister. This is the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. Stories covered so far. Minority in Parliament ask Ghanaians to hold President Akufo-Addo responsible for what they say is a scandalous and corrupt-reviewed Ameri Power deal. Also, we've heard from President Akufo-Addo describing himself and his family as not corrupt, as he points to a conspiracy by his political opponents to tag some members of his family same. And still to come, officials of National Service Secretariat and police collaborate to arrest 5 middlemen caught helping prospective national service personnel for changing the original postings as given them by the Secretariat.
Nobody should be paying any money for postings. We've written to the National Security and currently investigation is ongoing. We have so far arrested 5 persons who have been collecting money allegedly.
And on fact-checking today, we fact-check educationist and former GIMPA rector, Professor Stephen Ade, after the break.
That is the sweet sound of excellence. That is the sound from Mack. Yes, Mack Ghana is the #1 distributor of the world's best quality Isuzu and Chevrolet vehicles in Ghana. Isuzu trucks from 1.5 tons to heavy-duty vehicles. Isuzu buses from 15 to 33 seaters, double and single cabin pickup, available in automatic and manual transmissions. We also stock a wide range of Chevy cars from SUVs, sedans, and small cars, fully loaded with exquisite specifications. All our range of vehicles stand out due to its high fuel efficiency, safety, luxury, spacious interior, world-class delivery, and after-sales servicing. What's more, we offer flexible payment terms to meet your pocket. Mack Ghana is a sole distributor for Isuzu trucks and pickups, as well as all range of Chevrolet cars in Ghana. Call us on 0302-813-919 in Accra or 0242-039-550 in Kumasi. Visit our website mackghana.com. Mack Ghana, with you for the long run.
You're welcome back to the Midday News. Thanks for staying with us. Let's get the latest from the world of sports. Benedict Owusu, how are you doing?
I'm good, MF. I hope you're good too.
I'm good. What's in sports?
Awesome. Now, an executive committee member of the defunct Ghana Football Association, Wilfred Osei, says the formation of the liaison team by FIFA was needless. Now, the two-man team led by Dr. Kofi Amoah and assisted by Coach Utia Kenten have been tasked to oversee the country's participation in international competitions. And recently, they asked clubs to submit proposals on how to restore normalcy in Ghana football. Out of the many clubs affiliated to GOACA, only 10 responded to the request. And the other cited they don't have any rights to ask clubs for views, since their terms of reference is to look at the country's participation in international competitions. This, Wilfred Osei Palmer thinks the committee are crossing their boundaries.
The proposal from the liaison committee that we should contribute to the reformation processes in Ghana, I was baffled in the sense that I mean, how could they even implement the proposals or the suggestions given to them? There's no way they can implement it, because the only decision-making body with regard to that is Congress, not even executive committee. The executive committee cannot determine the direction of the league as to whether it should continue or it should not continue. The executive committee cannot take decisions as to how the league should run, be it an autonomous league or whatever. I am even surprised that that appointment was made by FIFA, in the sense that you don't bring or create a structure that will not be able to deal with the issues on the ground. Looking at how germane the issues were, the question is the liaison committee that is supposed to deal with only international matters be able to resolve the domestic issues involved?
So that's Wilfred Osei Palmer. He, an executive committee member of the defunct Ghana Football Association. Your sports MFA.
Thank you, Benedict. It's time now for fact-checking. Today, we fact-check educationist and former GIMPA rector, Professor Stephen Ade, on the double-track educational system government is introducing at the senior high school level. Raymond Akwa joins me with more on the claims and verdicts. Raymond, let's start with Professor Ade's claim about the size of class and number of teachers required for implementing the system.
The third is that now they are going to have smaller classes, more teachers.
Smaller classes, more teachers. The verdict?
This is actually true. According to the ministry, at any point in time, there will be at most 2,750 students in school under the double-track system, instead of the average of 3,000 students, which is normally in school under the current system. This is also because there will be no time that the first and second tracks of the first year, and also the second and third years will be in school at the same time.
Okay. So he also spoke about the revised class hours for the new system.
Now they will start at 7:30 and finish at 3:30.
The verdict?
This is misleading. This is because this is a proposal that the ministry considered first, but it was changed to 8 a.m. ending at 4 p.m. Okay. So it's not 7:30 to 3:30. It's 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Well noted. But Professor Ade then said the John Mahama government built only 12 community day senior high schools.
First of all, there was attempt under the previous government to build schools. They wanted to build 100 schools with about 12 being built.
The verdict?
This is false. The Mahama administration actually promised 200 and not 100. As of 2016, it provided a list of 123 community day senior high schools at different stages of completion. But we know that the data from the education sector performance report indicates that at least 46 of these schools have been completed and not 12.
Okay. Raymond Akwa with fact-checking. He'll be listening, so watch what you say, I always tell you. Now, 5 persons have been arrested for helping prospective national service personnel for changing the original postings as given them by the Secretariat. Now, this is according to the Executive Director of the National Service Secretariat, Mustafa Yusuf. An investigation by Joy News has revealed middlemen are cashing in on reposting of service personnel to enable them serve in offices or institutions of their choice. Shortly, we'll get to hear from the Secretariat's Executive Director, but first, Karin Dodu has been investigating some middlemen who were extorting money from graduates for national service change in posting.
NSS reposting, NSS reposting, NSS reposting. You didn't get a preferred place to do your national service? Don't worry. Just call or WhatsApp me on 0549 585 for a cool and 100% secured deal. So I called Viper Dedoyen, as his Facebook account indicates the service he provides. At 400 cedis and a strong influence at the National Service Secretariat, he tells me I will be reposted.
Hello. I saw this number on Facebook. Yes, please. They posted me to Kumasi, but I don't know if I could get somewhere in Accra. I don't want to go outside Kumasi.
Yeah, you can. You pay an amount of 400, and then you provide us with your details, as in your name, your NSS number, the place that you want the biscuit and everything.
I just want assurance that you do it. Some people, they don't even know.
I will do it.
Yeah, sure.
I will do it.
You have links to the NSS.
Yeah.
Ama is one of such victims who should not be paying for serving the nation. An engineering graduate posted to a hospital store. She tells me she changed that following an advertisement on a WhatsApp platform.
I was praying to get a particular region. Then it turned around. I had a different region altogether. Then I contacted the boy again. So I want a reposting. Should I go to the NSS office? Then he was like, nah, don't even look at your face.
Although the National Service Secretariat has the sole mandate of posting service personnel to specific institutions, it is obvious that some individuals are illegally raking hundreds of cedis out of this.
Karin Dodu's report. Well, Executive Director of the National Service Secretariat, Mustafa Yusuf, tells Joy News the Secretariat will not condone the phenomenon.
At the beginning of this service year postings, we have issued a press release upon press release appealing to all prospective service personnel that they should be mindful of unscrupulous people going around extorting money from our service personnel who are supposed to be serving this country. And nobody, and we want to repeat that nobody should be paying any money for postings. But the report that we are also receiving confirming what you have said, and we have taken notice of it. We've written to the National Security, we've written to the Director of CID, and currently investigation is ongoing.
You heard there, Mustafa Yusuf. Now, the National Labour Commission has convened an emergency meeting to address the concerns of the University Teachers Association, UTAG, and the Ghana Medical Association, all in a bid to avert an imminent strike by the unions. UTAG has accused government of bad faith following the non-payment of their book and research allowances and has threatened to embark on a strike if government fails to meet their demands by July 31. We'll get to hear more from them in our subsequent bulletins, but it's time now to check out what's trending on social media. Maps, you've been missed.
I have?
Yes, you have. What's trending?
Well, it's the 1st of August and people are excited. It's a new month. So our first trend in our Ghana Trends is Happy New Month. Let me take some of your tweets. At Nanalisha says, this month, Favor shall be your name. Promotion shall knock on your door every day. New things shall come your way. Happy new month.
Amen.
And this one is from Odd Charlie, who says, well, he's asking, happy new month. The only good thing that we should be happy about this new month is that we are alive. The problems we have been facing remain the same. At the last tweet I'm going to take is from Nzima, who says, as long as you are taking the right action, you're moving forward regardless of mistakes. You learn from mistakes, and that's how you grow. Stay focused, stay determined, stay positive. Happy new month.
May August be good to all of us. And that's it for the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. I am Emefa Apau. Have a good afternoon and thanks for your attention.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, don't worry, Grandpa. There are still 5 ripe and 15 unripe mangoes on the tree.
That's my boy.
Grandpa, it's still 1.2 kilograms of rice in the container.
My boy. And how much credit did I spend last week?
Well, you spent 5 CDs on calls, 2 megabytes on data, and you sent 5 SMSs.
We are the only network that tells you exactly what you have spent and when you spent it. Dial *545# to access your statement on MTN everywhere you go.
It's hot and the sun is blazing. Refresh and quench your thirst with Ultimate Natural Mineral Water. Ultimate Natural Mineral Water. It's soothing and really natural. Ultimate Natural Mineral Water. My water, your water, our water. Call 0244 515 801.
It's a new day. Are you ready? So my girls and I are finally going on our long-awaited trip. Everyone is excited, but I'm even more excited because my Cowbank mobile app is the real deal. If it's about transferring funds, I'm sorted. If it's about paying my bills, I am sorted. With me changing my PIN, locking my card, enter airtime, set a standing order, and locate the nearest Cowbank branch or ATM anywhere I find myself. Into trip way dear, chilling in Kwan. I don't have to worry while I'm away because my Cowbank mobile app has me. Do more with your mobile phone or tablet. Think it forward. You're smart. Now get it trendy. Download the Cowbank mobile app no free Google Play Store and our App Store. Sisia and enjoy convenient banking. Anytime. Cowbank. Forward together.
Cowbank. Forward together.
Accra Academy of Pride, the school of no regret.
The Accra Academy Old Boys Association, powered by the Blow Year Groups, proudly presents the Blow B Homecoming 2018. Saturday, the 11th of August at the school campus. Time 9 a.m. Are you ready for some excitement? Come, let's live up the Blow experience. Watch out for the live band section going down. Roll call, tug of war, arm wrestling, Gary Soakins competition, the bonfire and fireworks. Are you ready for some Jama? Saturday, the 11th of August, 9 a.m. Come join in on the fun. Let's reminisce on some old times. Accra, our pride. Accra, blow.
Say and blow, Accra.
FPAC is effective for headaches and relieves the symptoms of flu, colds, and catarrh. FPAC blows away the pain associated with sore throats. During and after a hard day's work, FPAC relieves you of body pains. After the day's sports workout, FPAC helps the body to control the aching muscles. FPAC is effective against feverishness. FPAC reduces body temperature associated with malaria and other fevers. FPAC is effective against rheumatic pains. You can find FPAC in all pharmacy and chemical select shops throughout the country. FPAC is not recommended for children less than 16 years of age, ulcer and asthmatic patients, pregnant and lactating mothers. If symptoms persist for more than 2 days, consult your doctor. FPAC blows your pain away.
FPAC Junior follows in the tradition of FPAC tablets, a trusted friend to relieve your child of pain associated with teething, catarrh, cold, and fever. The good that FPAC does for you, FPAC Junior does for your child. FPAC Junior is for children between 6 months and 12 years. FPAC Junior blows your child's pain away.
Joy 99.7 FM.